Hello, everybody. Welcome to an introduction to EXP Realty. Short introduction on me. My name is David Fry. A little bit of background. I've been in real estate for a little over 25 years. That happened fast. Over the years, I've been actually started in the industry as a loan officer in the mortgage industry for the first couple of years, and then joined my wife, Monica, to be a husband and wife team way back in '94. We were at a local company, traditional brokerage for a very short time. I saw the RE/MAX model actually in the latter part of 1994 and immediately moved over to RE/MAX. We were actually the first, you'll see this, there's a trend here, first agents in our marketplace at the RE/MAX franchise in Woodbury, Minnesota. And in 2001, we were actually trying to recruit some agents over to RE/MAX, and those agents showed me the Keller Williams model. And my immediate reaction to it was, ooh, somebody has figured something out about this industry. And quickly, we actually, a little known fact, my wife was the first one to write a check for a franchise in the state of Minnesota. So we went through, built that. I think most of you know, we're back on Keller Williams was barely over 10,000 agents, and really thought that was where I was going to end my career. No fooling. Waved the red flag very strongly. I was a team leader. I had ownership in multiple market centers. I've been there, done it when it comes to Keller Williams. And then literally stumbled across EXP through some coaching stuff that I do. And I was just polite and asked questions. And the more I asked the questions, I went, holy smokes. Knowing the intricacies of the company I'd come from, I knew that somebody had really kind of taken that game and upped the ante a bunch. And for me, I could not be more excited. It has been the best decision I've ever made. I've said all along in my career, and kind of when some things went through with the ownership with EXP with Keller Williams, I've said I want one more opportunity, one more huge opportunity. And to be honest with you, I never, ever thought it would be with a real estate company. It was the last place I thought it would be. So I'm excited to share this with you today. Hopefully you'll take the time and listen. Here's the one thing I want to set this up for, and I struggle with this. When I first looked at it, most people do. We all have been in real estate most likely for a little while, and we try to fit what has been the typical real estate model, some way, shape, or form, and put it in this context. My good friend Gene Frederick says this is a whole new model. So keep an open mind, take what you know about the real estate industry and apply it to what we have here. And I think you're going to be shocked. I was. So here we go. See if I can get this screen to work for me here. So who we are, how we made it to today. So Glenn Sanford, who is our founder and CEO, successful real estate career. He was actually built a really great team over at Keller Williams, was in their the technology department with them, and ultimately believed that the agent to brokers do the heavy lifting in real estate and deserve benefits of being a shareholder in the company. And that's a big key to today, and you'll find out more as we go on, and an income based on the level of their contribution. So in 2009, he founded EXP Realty, a cloud-based brokerage. And here's a little bit of our timeline. So again, founded in 2009, first year, 11 states, featured in Swanepoel Trends reports. In 2013, we became publicly traded. That's a big deal as we go on today. We are in Canada. We are launching 1 to 3 more countries this year. Our agent equity program and Icon agent program, another big deal, launched in 2015. And I'm going to argue that's really has what been ultimately fueled our growth, along with just the cloud and the way we do business here. 2018 recognized as one of the best places to work by Glassdoor, and et cetera. So join the NASDAQ. We are on the NASDAQ. Our trading symbol is EXPI. You'll want to check that out. Again, so there's a little bit of our timeline. Agent growth, we just hit 16,000 agents. When I joined in 2017, we were at 3,000, a little over 3,000, just shy of 3,200. So the growth has been phenomenal. I can share with you that our target this year is between 40 and 45,000 agents, and I believe that we will make that. Our core values. So, I'll be honest with you, this is one of the ways that most people struggle to begin with, of fitting what they're used to for a real estate company and trying to get their arms around what's that like with a cloud brokerage. I'm here to tell you that it's actually at a higher level because we've taken the country. I do more networking and brainstorming with agents across the country rather than just my little office. It has expanded my horizon in ways that I never thought I would have. So that sense of community goes across the country. We do have fun, I can promise you that. Agile, without all the bricks and mortar, and we'll talk about that. We're much more agile in today's marketplace. Innovative, of course, integrity, do the right thing. I can tell you that has held as true, if not truer, than any place I've ever been. What a great bunch of people. Transparency, that you'll find runs through across the board. So just a great bunch of values that I have found to be a pleasant surprise. So our business model. And here's the best way I have for people to think about this. You know, you go back to Blockbuster. They had brick and mortar everywhere. They gobbled up all their competition, and they were a giant. Circuit City, same thing. Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, Netflix actually went to Blockbuster and said, hey, would you buy? They offered to sell themselves. You want to buy us for a number that I've been told was around $7 million. They turned them down. A little bit of arrogance. They didn't know what was coming. Imagine, I wonder who's looking back on that decision right now. Same thing with Circuit City. I mean, really just look at what Amazon has done to retail sales. I mean, look at Sears, another icon going down. And it's because of the changing world. It's different. And I'm going to argue, and I got to see it coming. We're not. Our real estate industry has been lagging behind on this a little bit, but I am certain that time is here. So without the costs of brick and mortar, so a typical franchise, you got the costly overhead, and I come from one of those. I know what I told you, I was a team leader. I know what it costs to run one of those market centers, and that's just one. Consider that nationwide, locally confined, so you get a smaller referral network. Inconsistent growth and incentives, so there's minimal opportunities for ownership. I know that unintentionally, but that always creates a gap. Some people have ownership, some people don't. And then a technology and support, and we'll talk more a little bit about how that support in real time has just been fascinating to me. Here at EXP, we have a cloud campus. I'll dive into that more. Live training, over 20 hours of training a week, all included. Real-time support, that kind of goes into the whole cloud campus environment. International collaboration, and there's some things that'll tie into that in a little bit too. And then the equity opportunities, which to me is really life-changing for us real estate agents. So in our environment, there's no desk fees. You can work from anywhere. We don't have the brick and mortar costs. I talked about that. No expensive leases. Just dive into what it costs just to lease the amount of space that a typical brick and mortar company has to do, and what that does when markets shift. And we all know it will. For those of us that were around, we know how many went down during the downturn, hung on by the skin of their teeth, etc. So paperless transactions. Instant access to training and support. So the live training, here's just a glimpse of our training calendar. So again, more than 20 hours a week of live training, interactive. So you can post questions during this if there's something that you missed or you want the instructor to elaborate on. And it's everything from sales and listings, lead generation, social media. I know there's a course now on video, and the CRM and technology tools. We've got a phenomenal CRM here that we'll touch on in a bit. On-demand support services. So what would it be like if you could literally right now walk yourself into your international campus and get a live answer from technical support, agent services, accounting. So not a voicemail, not an email, live. That it's changed my perception on how business is being done today. Support teams that are available Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Pacific time. So fit that into your time slot, whatever that is. The collaboration across the country, and there's one of the tools we have that I'll talk about in a little bit. This has just been, well, I was just on the phone with somebody from Florida that I didn't know before. And let's see, where else have I been? I've been Michigan today. So just some people that I did not have as part of my world that now are, and the ideas and sharing have been terrific. So equity opportunities. Now here's one of the things that when I looked at this model, this grabbed me immediately. So here's what it is. There are several ways to get stock in EXP and World Holdings. And World Holdings, now that matters, and I'll share on that a little bit. So every year, anniversary year, on your first transaction, you will get $200 worth of EXPI stock. And then when you cap, and the cap is $16,000, and we'll talk more about the numbers later. Just know that your cap is $16,000. So each year, when you cap, $400 in stock. They just give it to you. You don't have to do anything other than what you're already doing, and they're giving it to you. So do you have that where you are now? And then when an agent that you sponsor, because you're a good agent, because we're a great company, they're going to ask you questions about it. When they come over, they do their first transaction, $400 in stock. And again, this is just giving it to you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to buy anything other than just be a great agent. And then you've got our Icon Agent program. This one to me was wow. So if you cap in our system, which when you cap, you go to 100%, and then you do 20 more transactions beyond that, you will receive up to $16,000 in stock back. A guarantee of 12. There's a couple of qualifiers that just have to do whether or not you go to our convention, you'll get the rest. So just know that you get that back. If you're an agent that does, I can tell you in our marketplace, average sales price of about $250, that's roughly 28 transactions, give or take. You apply the numbers to yours. So, and I've done that. So, and that is every year. And then ultimately the agent equity program. I know this is similar to a stock option program. My dad was a 3M employee for 40 years, took advantage of the stock option program. And anybody wants to do research on how those people did with their stock option programs from 3M, go ahead and do it. I can't give you numbers, but my dad's a happy man. So you can take 5% of every transaction, 5% of your gross commissions of any transaction, and buy EXPI stock at a 20% discount. And that discount is on the last trading day of the month. That's an opt-in or opt-out. I have no idea why you wouldn't do it, but there you go. It's your choice. That to me has already meant huge benefits. You have an agent voice in the company. We have an agent advisory council, 12 nominated and selected EXP Realty agents and brokers from a variety of production. So this is not just the multi-billion dollar producer, but your agents that are just solidly doing a nice business on a day-to-day basis, whatever that looks like, all voices are heard. And so I shared with you where I came from. I think profit share is that changed the industry and how we look at things. Revenue share is that on steroids, for lack of a better way to put it. So agents at EXP really can receive residual income from the productive agents they sponsor into the company. I'm going to have a next screen here that'll show more numbers better. Earn up to $28 annually for each agent you personally sponsor. That's on a year-to-year basis. Here's the big thing. Revenue is shared or paid by company dollar and doesn't reduce the agent commission. So it's not after profits. It's not after anything else. So it's a direct. So when you consider the fact that we don't have all the brick and mortar, we don't have some huge, and just the duplication of employees, of salaries that go with having to have each one of those market centers or offices, no matter what company you're with. Just take a moment, if you've got any kind of a number sense, and think of all of the expenses that are now not needed to run at a company that's really ultimately more agile and can produce services at a more efficient basis. So now we can share that back with the agents at a consistent and predictable level. So again, you've got tier 1, tier 2, it's up to $3,200 per agent. The $3,200 just means that they're capping. If they do less than a cap, then you'll get whatever that percentage is, up to $3,200. And again, it pays 7 levels. For those that really want to take advantage of this, oh my God, there are some wonderfully fascinating stories already on how people's lives are being changed. You know, when you consider this is, you know, again, I got a good friend of mine, Gene Fredericks, has really opened my eyes to this and the fact that, you know, how many agents, we're both ex-team leaders, we know how many people would benefit. What if there was even $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 a year in extra added income that you didn't have to do anything other than it just shows up, mailbox money? What does that do for somebody? And then ultimately, you know, the sky's the limit for what you want to do with this, truthfully. But this will change your life, truly change your life. So I hope you take the time to consider. There's a lot of things that people make up about this. I can tell you that I know statistically that over 90% of agents are at the company they're at, whatever company it is, because they knew somebody there. Agents have been growing their real estate companies all along. This is just a great way to say, hey, thanks. We're going to compensate you for it, and let's just go build a great thing. So hope you can tap into what this could mean for you. So EXP World. I'll be honest with you guys, I did not put a lot into this when we joined the company. I thought it was cool, thought it was a great idea. I didn't understand how efficient and effective this would be. So the best way I have to describe this is, what if you were at your, no matter where you are in the world, you have access to corporate campus. You could, I don't know, do the Spock thing or whatever it was with Star Wars, where you could just transform yourself to there. You literally are you walk yourself into corporate campus. And at that time, you can walk yourself into different specialized departments. You can, which would be accounting, agent services. We have auditoriums for training. We have just conference rooms that you can reserve to have, whether if you're into expansion. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're an expansion team, I don't know why in the world you'd be any place other than here. All the barriers to expansion are dropped when you consider we're one brokerage and we don't have the franchise issues to deal with. Information sharing, daily training, you can keep yourself busy, that's for sure. Like I said, you can jump into a meeting. Now, this would be an example of the young ladies, it happens to be ladies behind the counters here at the moment. You're walking into agent services, and one of them is going to ask you, how would you like help? Kind of freaky, to be honest with you, the first time I did it. Wasn't expecting a live voice to be talking to me right away. Solutions. So we have, this is some of the example of our back office. I'm going to tell you the tools here, the two things that truly shocked me. I've been in the business long enough to know that it doesn't matter where I go, I'm going to sell real estate, and it's not, the company is truly not going to have an effect on how much I sell. It has more of an effect on the tools, how much easier it makes it for me to sell, leverage those types of things. So SkySlope is our transaction management tool. Some companies are already using this, some are using .loop. It's a great system. It was very easy for us to transition into that. Actually, like it better. Workplace by Facebook, I'm going to touch on that a little bit. We are the #1 user of Workplace by Facebook. This has changed. When I talked about networking, unbelievable what this has done as far as how I've been able to connect across the country. CRM and lead generation, we use, so with your, I'll dive farther into this. So enterprise is really where it's kind of your back office. Everything you would ever need for tools or to know about EXP is here. One login, training, etc. SkySoap, I talked about. Workplace by Facebook's. So there's literally groups within this. There's now I'm in Minnesota currently. So there's a Minnesota State group where we post, I need help with. Here's my new listing. Here's anybody have all of those things, as well as just sharing for Minnesota stuff. And then you've got everything from lead generation courses, how to use KV Core at a higher level, what's working across the country, not just my office, anytime and anywhere, et cetera. This has just been game changing for my networking with real estate agents across the country. I'll share one more thing that I'll share with you. I'm around the CRM stuff. Now, you with your monthly technology fee for $50, you have KV Core, which if you're not familiar with what that is, I'll just list some other competitors in the marketplace, which would be Boomtown, Tiger Leads. I've done Curator, I've done Commissions Inc. All of you that looked at that know that that's anywhere typically from a $1,600 to $2,500 a month platform. $50 with your technology, not over and above, it's with your technology fee. Here's the other thing I'll tell you that I've found with KV Core using the other two platforms, my engagement rate with this, with leads, just, the auto emails and texts and so forth that go out and them responding, engaging, outweighs all of them. This has been such a huge surprise and such a pleasant surprise. We have agents coming over here just for this that are spending $2,000, $2,500 a month that have just dropped their expenses by that much just going to this platform and getting better, equal to or better results. So, and you get your own WordPress website. There's lead generation platforms. I promise you this is that you'll be surprised. I promise that. Marketing, branding. We have a whole suite of marketing and branding and postcards. All of it's free to your heart's content. Create stuff and just have it printed, send it to your printer, however you want to do it, but no reason to recreate the wheel there for sure. So joining EXP, again, the Amazon of real estate. We've been called that more than once, where it accelerates its growth. What else have we got here? Best place to work, we talked about that, Glassdoor, the Amazon model of zero. There you go. So how's that working? Look at where we're going. Look at where the rest of the world is going. We are on the forefront of that. So how the numbers work. So it is an 80-20 commission split, $16,000 cap. Now here's the other thing. No franchise fee. None. A lot of our marketplaces around the country and brokers charge a broker admin fee over and above per transaction. We do not charge that. You are free to do that what you will. For those of you doing significant numbers, if you just kept that in our market, my old broker was $395. Anyway, you do your math, your marketplace. After, once you cap, there is a $250 transaction fee for the next 20 transactions. And then drops to 75 from there. The rest of the costs, there's a $149 startup fee. Your tech fee is $50 a month. There's a switch in the university fee that's actually a one-time fee of $420 on an annual basis that comes out of your first commission check. So you don't have to write that check every month. And then per file, $25 broker review fee. And your risk management or E&O is $40 per transaction up to $500. So that caps off and goes away. Much better than writing that big check that I know my old broker every year was in January. Not a great time for a real estate agent having to be running a $400 to $500 check for their E&O for the year. Cash flow is always an issue. So there's the numbers. Any questions you have, again, more stuff. And by the way, one of the things that I know we get talked about, because there's a lot about our growth and our opportunity out there. So there's a lot of focus on that. I can tell you we're selling real estate. If you look at the volume that has been coming out of EXP, we will be, I'm certain, my personal opinion, we will be in the top 3, if not 4, inside of 2 years. And we are well on our way to that. So there's a bunch of real estate being done here. There's no doubt about that. Oh, another thing I'll let them know. This is such a moving number. All I can tell you is that our company is financially very solid. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've kept an open mind through this. We're really looking to get in business with some wonderful people. If that's you, you get done listening to this. Now remember, whoever had you look at this, that's the person you need to talk to after this. There's such a tendency to want to go to the presenter on this. Whoever sent you to this, that's your sponsor. More than happy to answer any questions, connect you with anything else that you need to do. From here, go to join.exprealty.com. It's a very easy form to fill out with your information. That is not, hey, I'm transferring my license today. What that does do for you is that it notifies our system that you're interested. You will get sent a copy of our ICA agreement, Independent Contractors Agreement. Spend some time reading that so you know it. And I usually will answer a lot of your questions. And then you ultimately get to pick the date when you want to move your license. Your broker is not notified. We don't tell anybody. It's a secret. So please don't be afraid of that. But at the same time, if you see this and you truly are looking to grow your business and then ultimately grow your wealth, I don't know why you wouldn't. I believe it this way. I don't know why you wouldn't. All of us all have a reason. So I encourage you to move forward. We'd love to have you. And thank you so much for listening. Have a great and wonderful day.